Hi again then guys, and welcome to another brief kind of speed through mini review for one of the vehicles from the Drive Club selection. And this is a funny car, I think, because in a number of different games where it's featured in various forms, be it the RT12, the RT12S, the RT12R, it's one of those cars which always exceeds what its appearance, I would argue, indicates you would think. And what I mean by that is, if you were to look at something like the RUF Yellowbird in the 80s, it looks like one of the fastest cars around. It just has that kind of 80s vibe. If you look at the modern day RUF in its ultimate form, the CTR3 for instance, that looks the part. It looks like what it is, a 235 plus mile per hour supercar. When you look at something like this though, it just doesn't look like that to me. This looks more like a, say, GT2 or 911 Turbo level machine. Maybe with some unique bodywork, a bit more downforce, maybe 550, 600 horsepower. Sounds good, but not necessarily earth-shattering. The reality is though that this one, the top-of-the-line RT12R, is actually a force to be reckoned with, and especially so when it first came out, because this is quicker than most other supercars around at the time. In fact, in real life, the RT12R can do over 220 miles per hour. That's remarkably quick, and certainly a lot quicker than I would have guessed the car actually was just by looking at it. Because let's be honest, the styling does not look like what it is. A 224 mile per hour car with the longer gearing option, and even with the shorter gearing it still does 219 and can hit 60 in 2.8 seconds. You've got all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive options, and the handling, although not utterly realistic of course, because Drive Club itself is far from being the most realistic of physics out there as far as racing games go, but the car is a very nice mix of deceptively good straight-line performance, especially when it comes to pure top speed, and also it's surprisingly nimble. The 911 is quite a compact car, especially if you put it up to something like a Ferrari or a Lambo, which are typically lower and wider, whereas Porsche 911s, they're a bit narrower, a little bit taller than you might expect a sports car of its type to be. And that's carried over from Porsche to this RUF as well. Now, as far as using it in the game, the second thing that I've always noticed about cars like this is that they tend to get overlooked. They are in a world of such extremely flamboyant hypercars, supercars, track day sports cars, and everything in between, that it's very easy to just take something that looks like, well, just a body-kitted modified 911 for granted. The Porsche 911 is such a consistently good car, in a similar way to the Nissan GTR, and a couple of others too, that it's easy to do just that, to take it for granted. But don't take this one for granted. It's a very good car, and it's well worth looking into in Drive Club. But that's it for this mini review. I'll see you next time, and for now, as always, thanks for watching.